Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now it is time for the new comic book video. Like I stated in Sunday's video, it's a very small week for books due to Marvel and DC not releasing anything, but nevertheless, a few really nice books that came out that I'm going to show, and a lot of books that we talked about on the Sunday video. And then Diamond just made an announcement a few hours ago. I'm going to touch bases on that a little bit, and so let's jump right into the books. The first book I got was a free handout for Free Comic Book Day. I got this from my friend Brian over at Cosmic Comics. So this is Firepower #1, free comic book handout, so thank you for that, Brian. I appreciate it. And then let's get into the books. From what we talked about, one of the books I mentioned from Aftershock, again, books that I was interested in, Dark Red #10. A book mentioned that I was really excited about, and this is Kids #4. This is the Jaws homage right there. Kind of a takeoff on not only the cover of the original book, well actually not the cover of the original press, the cover of the book once the movie came out, and of course the movie poster of the girl swimming and Jaws coming up on her. So there was that right there. I thought that was a real fun cover, so I had to grab one of those. Another book I talked about simply for the first issue was really good, and I did enjoy the first run of Nailbiter. This is Nailbiter Returns #2. And again, really nice bride cover right there. So I was going to grab one of those. Again, most of these books we talked about on Sunday. This is Jim Henson's Storyteller Ghosts. This is I believe it was number 3. Let me see. Might be off on that. I cannot find it anywhere. Hold on. Can't remember. I got so much stuff on my head, so I apologize for that. Number 3, 3 of 4. This was the cool cover. I thought it was going to look really, really nice, and it does right there. There was another cover of a older looking witch standing, and that was a really nice one too. But again, with finances the way they are, I had to pick the one that I thought was going to be the most enjoyable for me, and so I picked that one there. Again, more books I talked about in the video. This is Vampirella #10. Not this particular cover, but the 2 next covers I'm going to show. But again, kind of like that cover right there. Got that creepy looking person in the background wearing a mask with a cross on it. So there's that there. I'm way behind on Vampirella, so I don't know if that's a character or not. And then, of course, a really nice Perillo cover on Vampirella there. These were selling really, really well. And then the Vengeance of Vampirella #10, another Perillo cover, and another book that was selling really well. Really cool cover there. Someone getting a little bite there on Vampirella. The hot book of the day, Negan Lives #1. Was able to get one of these here, so excited about that. Looking forward to reading that. A couple people I spoke to who did in fact read it said it was a pretty good story, so I'm interested in that. And of course, the book that I said was my pick of the week, which was Devil's Highway #1 from AWA. Really looking forward to this one. This will be the first book I read today. So I am looking forward to that there. Shops didn't get a whole lot of those, so if you're able to get a couple of those, I really think it has a chance to do something down the road. Maybe a Netflix show, or the way they're doing a lot of shows right now. Some of the books that I talked about that I didn't have a chance to pick up, Reaver #9. And of course, Ronan Island #12, which I couldn't find. So there was that. Otherwise, most of these books we got right here, we talked about. So I was really happy about that. And so I hope, I'd like to hear in the comments if you picked up any of these books or any of these suggestions based off of the video that you saw on Sunday. Now, I usually show older books, but Diamond came down with a big announcement. And so I thought I would talk about that right there. CEO of Diamond, which was chairman and CEO of, actually, Stan Heidman was the president of Diamond Distributions. He apparently has now left the company. They made that announcement today with the president of the Jeppy Family Enterprises. His name is Steve Jeppy. Of course, Jeppy. They are the owners of Diamond Distribution and part of the Jeppy Family Enterprise Company. And he stated that he's going to take over the role now of president, chairman, and CEO of that company. Now, I kind of see this as a couple of things. Now, we're talking about that Negan Lives book. Now, the big knock I had, I heard today, and I heard this from multiple people, was that there were special editions of that book that came out. There was a gold edition that they sent to shops, 1 per shop, and then there were silver editions of that book that they sent out, 2 per shop. Now, unfortunately, most of the gold, now if you're looking at these things online, these gold books are selling upwards of $150, $200 a piece, and they're selling very quickly because of the limited nature of the book. Now, the idea that these books were coming in damaged at most shops, upper left-hand corner was kind of smashed in, that's just kind of ridiculous. And that's been the knock on Diamond, is their lack of care as it relates to shipping books out to companies and to these comic book shops. Because face it, if I have the opportunity as a comic book store owner and I get a book from the company that I'm supposed to get 1 of and 2 of, the silvers are selling for about 50 bucks consistently. So you're looking at a possible $300 right there, which is real big for a small business, and they come in damaged and I can't sell them. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't know if the complaints that have been coming down the pipe about Diamond Distributions even more loudly since DC initially had broken off with Diamond to go with a separate distribution company. I believe their name was Lunar, which were sending their books during the lockdown and the shutdowns really, really well. Packing them really nice, wrapping them really nice, not coming in with a whole lot of damages. You're always going to have 1 or 2 damages, but if you know anything about Diamond and you talk to a lot of comic shops, or even those of you who may own comic book shops, the amount of damages that come in from Diamond is absolutely staggering. And I think the reason they had that was because there was no other game in town. They were the only game in town. They were the bully on the block. They could do pretty much whatever they want, and there was nothing anybody can do about it, because all you had to say was, oh, you don't like the way we shipped you the books? Don't take them, send them back. But then you don't have any books to give to your customers. So shops were kind of being held in limbo and at hostage to take what Diamond gave them. New company comes in, shows that, you know what? A company can ship books at a good price that aren't damaged, even though they were only dealing with DC at that time. But I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more expansion on that. Did this have anything to do with the CEO or the president of that company stepping down and walking away from Diamond? Or did the company feel that, you know what, he's not doing his job, he didn't really look at the idea of the complaints that are coming in, and so we're going to take over and we're going to get rid of him? They're not saying if he left the company or if he resigned or was forced out. Of course, they say that he's, you know, effective immediately. I am reassuming the role of president of the Jeppy Family Enterprises. In addition to his position as chairman and CEO, Steve Heidman will be departing the organization. I thank him for his contributions and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. That is pretty much a blanket comment that gets made when somebody leaves a company. But I have a feeling now that maybe Diamond is starting to feel the pressure from these comic book shops to give their product in much better condition. But let me tell you, the fact that most of these big Negan books came out damaged, that ain't helping. That's not going to help them. People are tired. Consumers are tired, either buyers or shop owners. People who are paying the money to get these books in are tired of multiple damages that they cannot put on their shelves, that they have to send back for a credit. A credit doesn't do you any good if you have a hot book that's going to sell real fast at a really good price that you're not going to be able to get back, or you're going to get it 3 weeks or a month down the line when the book isn't hot anymore and you're not going to get that price for it. So maybe Diamond's going to wake up. I thought they would wake up, you know, when they started shipping books again, but they haven't. Their shipping is just as bad as always. I know a couple of shops that were buying the big graphic novels and the omnibus bus books, and they were just throwing them in boxes, shipping them out, bouncing them around. Didn't matter how it was done, because Diamond doesn't give a shit about you, the consumer. They really don't. They say they do, but they don't, because if they did, they would take the time to do it correctly, and they're not doing it. So there was that. So let's hope that this big shakeup at Diamond is going to result in a nice positive change as it relates to the way they do business for their shipping and receiving, and help books come in a better condition. Because face it, during this time of our country, a lot of people don't have the expendable cash. People are going to spend their money with the companies that take care of them the best. I think Diamond knows that. I think they're feeling the pressure, and I think we're going to see a positive change down the road. And so there was that. I was going to show some old books, but I want to talk about this Diamond thing since I thought it was the hot topic of the day since it just basically came out a couple of hours ago. And again, personally, I'm kind of excited to see what changes are going to be made. I want to see books come in good condition. Now, next week is going to be a gigantic week for books. DC is shipping double week books. Now, that's really bad because not everybody has the money to do a double week of books, but they're going to ship out double weeks of books. But most of the comic shops that I deal with, you know, have already said, look, you know, you pick up what you can pick up right now, and we'll just hold the rest for you. It's not a big deal. You've been a good customer over the years, and we're certainly not going to hold that against you because of, you know, everybody is in a different situation right now. So there was that. I am going to do the baseball card video. I'm probably going to do that probably Friday. This Saturday is July 4th weekend. If you're going out, please be aware of the drunk drivers, okay? Because people still get stupid. Practice your social distancing. You see a rash of increase in, you know, COVID cases going out there. Be smart. Wash your hands. Wear your mask in public. Okay, just do that for now. We will get through this as a country like we always do, but in order for us to get back to some sort of normalcy as it relates to possible shows and stuff, there'll be nothing until next year. But it's what we do now is what we're going to be able to enjoy next year. So think about that when you're doing that. I'll do a new, like I said, part of the baseball card video probably on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for all the positive support. If you have a comment, please make a comment. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. So I will do a new comic book video again on Sunday. And again, if you got any ideas for any of these books, I'd love to hear that in the comments because I like to think that what I am doing here on this channel has some, you know, small impact on somebody to either hear a view that they might not understand or, you know, a different take on things, or a book that they might not have purchased otherwise. So that's pretty much all we have. So I hope you liked the video, but as always, if you didn't like it, nothing I can do for you. Kind of stumbled over the words there at the end. Have a very, very safe 4th of July weekend, and I'll see everybody real soon.